Good morning, teachers and schoolmates. We are Godfrey. I'm Brenda. Today we are going to present our poster, Hand, Foot, Mouth Disease, to all of you. Before we start our presentation to you guys, let's look at the two pictures on the screen, which is about the statistic hand, foot, mouth disease in Hong Kong. This statistic may help to find out the trend of this disease in Hong Kong. In the picture on the left-hand side, there are the data from Department of Health of Hong Kong. It shows that the numbers of the people affected in hand, foot, mouth disease is still remain high. In addition, we can see this disease seldom causes death. In the picture on the right-hand side, the blue, the green, and red line representing 2014 respectively. We can see that in the last 2 years, the people infected hand, foot, mouth disease in the first trimester were relatively low. But in this year, the number of infected persons were visibly increased by comparing the last 2 years, which reflected that in hand, foot, mouth disease become different with previous year, and the infection rate of this year is much higher than the last year. This raises our concern.
So let me introduce the hand, foot, mouth disease, and it is a common disease in children caused by the enterovirus such as enterovirus 71, and the virus infection may cause the severe consequences like viral meningitis. And this disease is high risk for transferable to other children, and therefore the hand, foot, mouth disease is easy to outbreak in the school or the children care center. So for the clinical manifestation, and mostly the children who suffer from this disease may begin with fever, decrease of appetite, and sore throats. And the painful sore start to develop in the mouth, located on the tongue, gums, and inside of the cheek. And the skin may become rash and located on the hand and foot, and which is not itchy, and some with the blister.
For the treatment, here is no specific treatment for the disease, and since it will recover in 7 to 10 days, and we have to suggest some method to relieve the pain. For the mouth sores, you can eat ice cream or suck on popsicle, and it helps with mouth pain and also prevents dehydration. And for the fever pain, you can take the over-the-counter medication, and but you should avoid the aspirin for the children.
So after we look at about some treatment and some causes of hand, foot, mouth disease, let's look into the prevention. First, before we talk about the prevention, we can look into the chain of infections. First, the organism of hand, foot, mouth disease is caused by enterovirus. So, enterovirus can pass it through an infected person, which is a receiver. For a receiver, such as Mary is infected by the hand, foot, mouth disease. Through Mary's respiratory tract, Mary do some exercise such as coughing may be transmitted through some droplets through his respiratory tract. So, once made contact with some dirty droplets, infected droplets, with his eyes or mucus, will easily be the suspected host which infected by this hand, foot, mouth disease, such as Peter in this tree. So, after we consider about this tree, we have to break down this tree in order to prevent this hand, foot, mouth disease. So we selected 6 prevention in order to break down this tree and stop for the outbreak for the children. That we will going to talk more details in the following slide. So first is visit doctor and stay home while sick, because we suggest that the children should talk to the healthcare provider and doctors and don't go to school because antivirus is mostly caused by contact and will easily be outbreak. So we suggest that students do not go to school until the fever completely disappears and until the oral rash completely healed. Another prevention is that cover mouth and nose when squeezing and coughing because droplet may spread the virus by direct contact and breathe in. So the third one is do not share towels and other personal items. We suggest that we should disinfect the items with 1 to 49 diluted batch to wash them. So another prevention method is always wash your hand. We suggest children to wash their hands before they have the meal or before they after touching and contact with some infected person or contact with some dirty things. So
let's wash hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
is avoid close contact with new things because if a child is suspected to have hand-foot-mouth disease, he or she may easily to be the agents that transmit the virus to the other one person. So we suggest that avoid have a close contact with infected things. So for education, we put the maintain personal hygiene because hygiene is very important for break down the disease. We suggest that children are too young to take a proper care. So we advise parents and other care workers to take care of them, to let them know the personal hygiene, such as do some promotions, such as our poster, and teach them some hand washing technique. Also, one thing is very important is to consult the doctor immediately because it can stop the outbreak. Because we have to pay attention of the signs and symptoms, especially for those teachers and those healthcare workers and parents. It can use to prevent this disease for outbreak and the spreading of this disease. So diagnose as soon as possible may help.
Thank you, my groupmates, to talking about the prevention of hand-foot-mouth disease. Now I would like to talk about the purpose of our poster. The poster aims to reduce the prevalence of hand-foot-mouth disease by improving the awareness of children within 3 to 12 years old. From the data of Center for Health Protection, stated that there was 691 cases of institutional outbreak in 2015. It no doubt that hand-foot-mouth disease is common in Hong Kong, and it also highly contagious in the public, especially between the children, since their immune systems are much weaker than the adults, and the children have not enough awareness and knowledge about the transmission of infectious disease. Also, education of the prevention of the disease is essential to prevent the children suffer from the disease. For example, education of personal hygiene, signs and symptoms of hand-foot-mouth disease, and we will provide some methods for parents to take care of their children after suffering from the disease will be included in the poster.
Now let's talk about the content in our poster. In our poster, we will briefly to introduce what is hand-foot-mouth disease, including the causative agents, mode of transmission, and the prevention. Also the clinical manifestation and further information. First, we will talk about the causative agents, the enterovirus family, COSA16 and EV17. And the mode of transmission, this disease is transmitted by the direct contact with saliva, stool, which is contain the virus and other contaminated objects. And the incubation period is about 3 to 7 days.
Okay, thank you. And I will talk about the following contents of our poster. First, we showed some signs and symptoms in our poster in order to increase the people's knowledge about the disease. Also, the children can early detect the disease with those signs and symptoms. Then, you can see the preventions. The prevention is our focus, around half of our poster. We selected some useful prevention methods, which my teammate introduced to you, which is do and don'ts. This part aims to educate the children to use the proper way to prevent the disease. Also, we provided the further information with link, hotline, and QR code on the bottom of the poster. It is more convenient for the children to get more further information from the internet.
For the design on the target group, we set up our target group as 6 to 12 years old children. This age of children are the high-risk group of the hand-foot-mouth disease. 6 to 12 years old children have much contact with other children in school or daycare center. It will be easy to spread the pathogen through the contact. Therefore, we set up this target group to prevent they suffer from the disease. Using the poster to introduce hand-foot-mouth disease can let the children understand more of this disease. Children will be easier to get information, and the posters are mainly posted in the school and daycare center, as children are lack of knowledge to protect their health and maintain personal hygiene. Also, they are more easy to infect hand-foot-mouth disease at the school and the center. The colorful poster posted in school can let children to pay attention on the poster and be careful to avoid suffering from the disease. In order to make the information more easier to understand, we'd like to use the platform to introduce the information to them. This can let the children more easily to get the main point in the poster.
Moreover, the words used in the poster will be as simple as possible. After reading the poster, they can have a clear concept about this disease. Also, use simple words can prevent children's misunderstanding on the road and miss the point that have mentioned on the poster. And there do not have long sentences on the poster. This can reduce the time that children read and comprehend of the poster. Also, in our poster, there are many colorful pictures and words. It will be used to attract the children. The colorful words can attract people who is far away from the poster. Moreover, the picture we have used a lot of cartoon to bring out our idea. It's because cartoons are more vivid than the real picture. The pictures are more interesting and easier to understand instead of only have word only. The more children pay attention to the poster, the more information we can provide to them. In our poster, there are some signs and symptoms on the picture. If the children open the picture, they can see a healthy children without any sign and symptom of hand-foot-mouth disease. Also, there are a story on the top of the poster, which is very interesting and meaningful. That's all our presentation. Thank you.